Hello, and welcome to my first video in years, where I'll be giving a little tour of the house I built in The Sims 4 for the cast of Luckbound, which is a character and comic series I've been working on with my friends. And it's about an MMA athlete named Rowan Doran, who whose parallel universe versions all meet each other, and they've got kind of different personalities and appearances, but they share their place of birth in Ireland, and they share some personality traits. They're kind of all quirky, eccentric, one might say, a little impulsive. And this is Cam. So they're all married to each other, all the 5 adults here. Cam is their wife, who is kind of the more level-headed one, who keeps things in check. And so there's Weird Rowan, who's kind of the more introspective, artsy type among the Rowans. And here he is. And there's Freaky Rowan, who is uncomfortable because they're a vampire and it's sunny, who is the more kind of high energy, mischievous one of the group. They're all a little mischievous, but Freak especially so. Here's Unknown Rowan, who is the more friendly, outgoing one of the group, but also a little, a little impulsive, very risk-taking sort. And there's Big Rowan and Mini Rowan, who are actually the same person. Collectively, I call them Lost Rowan, but they're from the same universe. Minnie time traveled to the future to meet her older self, who is Big. And Big is kind of the calm one, but he also does a lot of unexpected, unpredictable things. And Minnie is the younger version that's more energetic and optimistic. And there's also Danny, who's Minnie's close friend, who she calls her husband. And there's Hannah, who's the daughter of Big and Cam. And Weird and Unknown also have twins together, but you can only put 8 Sims in a house, so there's just Hannah, because she's the oldest at 4 months of age. And they've got a very big house because Cam has a lot of money from her ex-husband, who is a celebrity. So you can see there's a lot of greenery, plants and whatnot, some playground stuff for the kids. They've got a pool. They've got a chicken coop for their friend Biscus, who is a magical chicken. They've got a lot of seating out on the deck, some plants there too, and this kind of wooded area where Minnie is going to have a tree house out here. And so if you go to the inside, here's the entryway with this expensive knight statue. And the kids have got some backpacks here. Minnie's is like been scrawled on. There's it'll be easier if I put the walls up for you. There's a bathroom here, and actually you can't see anything. There's a coat closet here, but it's dark because you don't really need a light in a tiny closet. And then here's the garage with Big's workshop where he does some blacksmithing stuff. And the adults have some bikes, except Freak, who likes to borrow other people's bikes, and then Minnie just throws hers in the grass outside. She doesn't care about putting it in the garage. There's the garage attic up here with some random stuff. I don't know if you can see. And then the living room. There's this little room here. They have pets, but like I said, I couldn't put them in because of the sim limit in the house. So this is just where the pets would hang out if they were here. And they've got a living room with this little mouse who represents Tiny Rowan, who is weird but as a mouse. And you've got just the regular living room stuff. You got this little corner with this armchair that Minnie really likes for whatever reason. And you've got the kitchen, because the Rowans like to eat a lot. So they've got all kinds of food supplies in here in this big house, in this big kitchen. They got some more in the pantry. You can kind of see some lunch boxes for the kids. And the one with the skull is Minnie's, because, she likes, cute things like unicorns, but she also likes kind of dark things as well. She's so basically your standard 6-year-old girl, but she's kind of desensitized to violence because of her upbringing. And then there's the dining room. It's kind of a fancy looking dining room, and a little bathroom in here. And there's a playroom for the kids with all sorts of toys and whatnot. There's even a baby gym for Hana and a closet with some more toys. And then if you go over here down this other hallway, you've got some trophies and stuff from their time in combat sports. You've got the gym here, you know, if they still want to practice. That most of them are retired. Well, they've gone on to different paths. They're not really that old to be retired, but Weird and Unknown have both lost a leg, so they had to retire, and Big just got sick of it. And here, I wanted to pay extra attention to this detail, the crud behind the treadmill, because I've owned a treadmill, and there's always crud on the ground behind it. And you got some massage chairs and whatnot, a little meditation stool that they try to put the babies on to make them meditate. We were talking about that with me and my friends. And there's a game room, some games and entertainment items. And down this hallway, this is a reference to the cat and the dog that they have in their story. So down this hallway is some bedrooms. This is Cam's bedroom, is the big one. And it's much neater than anyone else's bedroom. She keeps all the good massage equipment to herself, and she will kill you if you try to open this chest. And here's Minnie's room. It's kind of like a enchanted forest of unicorns, if an enchanted forest of unicorns was a mess. And here's her tablet. She really likes her tablet. And she's got her closet with some stuff in there. There's knives hidden in the back of the closet. And, you know, a baseball bat, which is foreshadowing because Minnie grows up to play baseball. And there's Danny's room, which is much neater than any kid's room realistically would be. He's got some flowers and stuff because he likes flowers. And he's got a little dance mat here. And Hana's room. This would be Hana's room with the other two babies. So there's 3 rabbits, 3 nightlights, etc. And you can see there's just some baby stuff in here. And also in this room, you've got the baby changing table in this bathroom, but the kids also do like their morning routine in here, brushing their teeth and stuff. And this closet just has a random bowling pin in it. Don't ask me why, I just put it there for no reason. And then if you go upstairs, you see in the hall, there's this hallway that comes up from the entryway, and a little hall closet with some random stuff in there. And you can go over here. There's another little random hall closet and this crawl space type area. And if you go down, you can see this area that Minnie has kind of staked out for herself to just relax and read and whatnot. You can see here, this hallway leads to Freak's room in the attic. And then this here is Big's room. And it's hard to make a room this big look messy, but I managed it. Here are his crates. No one knows what's in them. They're just crates. Big doesn't even know what's in them. And he's kind of hoarding snacks in his room as well. But other than that, he's got some like tools and whatnot in there. And his own little kitchen area. He's got his panda corner because his partners compare him to a panda because he might seem more relaxed and laid back than the others, but pandas are still bears. And you got this big bathroom here with some makeup supplies because Freak wears a lot of makeup, and this shower and bath area with a plethora of bathing options and a little closet. And over here, if you go down the opposite hallway, you'll get to Weird and Unknown's rooms. And here's Unknown's room. He's got his art desk, he's got his computer desk, he's got a mess on the floor because all the Rowans have messy rooms. They're kind of, what they share in common is they've all kind of got disorganized minds. And Unknown has his fox lamp because he likes foxes a lot. And he's got his closet, his very big closet, because he likes to live in a small room, so he made the closet bigger. He even has a closet in his closet, and this little passageway that leads to Weird's closet. And here's over here, there's this nice little area, and then there's Weird's room. Weird's got his art desk, but he's a little embarrassed of his art hobbies, so he tries to make it look not obvious, except it is kind of obvious. And he's got some bars and rope here and whatnot. Well, that's a rain chain, but I'm pretending it's rope for climbing and hanging upside down, which he likes to do. And just his bed area, and then here's the closet that has more hidden art supplies in it. And you can kind of see, if you get really close, you could see them on the shelf. And then this area that Weird and Unknown share, where they could just come and see each other, probably kiss or something. They also share a bathroom in here. And this is what I call the triangular toilet terrarium, because my friend gave me the specific shape for Weird's room, kind of like a diamond, but I didn't know what to put in the corners, so I put the triangular toilet terrarium. And here's the craft room with a lot of art stuff in it for the artsy among them, which is kind of all of them, really. And next to that, there's the computer room, and they've each got their own computer with little stuff on their desk to represent them. So there's Unknown, Danny, Big, Freak, Weird, Cam, and Minnie. Some gaming posters and whatnot. They've got a library. They've got a big library with a lot of books and some little reading nooks. Oh, you always move the rug when you don't want to in The Sims. They've got a little area for the kids to read. And I was telling my friends that this, like, imagine being a $7,500 painting and somebody puts you next to the toilet. Imagine that being your life. And you can get a better view of the deck from here. And that's the second floor. And then up here finally is Freak's room, which is the attic, and which is also a mess. But there's also a lot of plants and a lot of lights hung up and decorations. There's some trophies, some awards and treasures and whatnot. There's a lot of pipes because Freak likes to use pipes as a weapon. And there's this little makeup desk and a little bed. And this garland here is meant to represent the dream catcher that Unknown gave the others as a wedding gift. But I couldn't find anything that really looked like a dream catcher. And Freak's got some sprouts coming out of the window, but nobody is allowed to cut those. Absolutely not. And then finally, there's the basement, which is where all the suspicious stuff goes. Although the basement just kind of has its own little living room. There's this megaphone that Minnie probably likes a lot. And there's the drug and alcohol area. There's this little miniature game room in the basement with a mannequin standing in there for some reason, and a photo booth of all things. There's this little antique waiting room looking area. There's the food storage area. There's the pool from outside. Oh, God. Ugh. I always move stuff when I don't mean to. There's this sauna room type area as well. And there's a bathroom. And here, this goes to the entryway. There's some junk here. There's a mannequin. There's this wizarding area for Weird, who is a spellcaster in this game. And Big and Minnie are mermaids, even though they're not really mermaids. And, I mean, obviously Freak is a vampire. You can tell from the sun exposure warning here. And Cam and Danny are just normal Sims. Hannah's also a mermaid. And Unknown is a werewolf. And then here, this is the room nobody wants to go into. They hide all their money, their assets, their dead bodies. They've got gravestones and urns and a coffin, and they have child-sized mannequins in there. And they have this jar where they trapped a cursed shadow, and now it has to live down here in this creepy room. And if you go up, though, there's this little secret area with some couches and a skeleton. So there's a lot of secret rooms and passageways in this house. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. And if you want to know more about Luckbound, I'll leave the link to our Tumblr blog in the description so you can take a look. So thanks for watching and have a nice day, and Hana wishes you well.